I see Nancy Mace is online. So she is from South Carolina, District 42. Nancy Mace assumed office as South Carolina House of Representatives representing District 99 in 2018. State Rep Nancy Mace won Republican primary in South Carolina's 1st Congressional District, defeating Chris Cox, Kathy Landing, and Braid Mole, with 39% of precincts reporting Mace had received 59% of the vote. Macy successfully advocated for the inclusion of exceptions for rape and incest or in a fetal heartbeat abortion ban bill that passed in the Statehouse. Businesswoman, politician, and author of the memoir In the Company of a Man, The Citadel. It was first published by Simon Schuster in 2001, about her experience in becoming the first woman to graduate from the Corps of Cadets portion of the Citadel. So Nancy Mace, you really truly are a Wonder Woman. Thank you so much for giving us your time over here. We would love for you to address our Indian diaspora in USA. Thank you.
Of course, and thank you so much this morning, and happy American Indian Independence Day, everyone from East Coast to West Coast across the country. And I am the Republican nominee for South Carolina's 1st Congressional District. And we have a great contingent of business leaders from our American Indian community right here in South Carolina, not just here in Charleston, but also across the state. And the state of South Carolina, we had our first American Indian governor, and Nikki Haley, just a few years ago, and now a former ambassador to the UN as well. And so we really appreciate all the business leadership that we've had from the American Indian community right here in South Carolina, believe it or not. And so appreciate y'all for having me on today. I'm very excited about this race. This really is the election of our lifetime this coming November. And it's not necessarily about Nancy Mace, who's running for Congress, or my Democratic opponent, Joe Cunningham, who's the incumbent, but this is really about the future of our country. And it affects each and every one of us, especially in the business community, because on one side of the aisle, we have Democratic leftists who want to increase our taxes. They want to reverse the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which created so many jobs, particularly in the hospitality and food and bev industry here in South Carolina's 1st Congressional District. That was huge for us, for our employers. Previous to COVID-19, here in our district, we had an unemployment rate of 1.86% here. And with the policies of the left, of the Democrats, if they get in office in November across the country, we're going to see those tax cuts reversed. And that's really going to help. It's really going to hurt our business leaders. It's going to hurt the middle class who are trying to increase their wages and their jobs. And so we've really got to fight for fiscal conservative policies that can reopen our businesses, allow them to thrive, and also encourage people to get back to work. And we can't incentivize unemployment. What we're seeing here in 1st Congressional District is that some of the federal government stimulus policies and the stimulus package have only encouraged unemployment. And while that's at pause right now, people are going back to work because they're making less money on unemployment now than they were before, whereas previously, under the initial unemployment package, employees were making more money on unemployment and employers were having a hard time getting them to go back to work. So I'm going to be fighting for freedom. I'm going to be fighting for fiscal conservative policies that can get us out of this mess and improve our economy for our entire tourism industry, because the district where I am right now, it relies on those tourism dollars in the hospitality, food, and beverage industry. And I grew up here in this district. I'm from South Carolina, and appreciate all the opportunities I've had. And as was mentioned earlier, I'm already a state lawmaker. I've been in business for 21 years. I'm a mom. I'm actually a single mom. I have 2 kids that I work very, very hard for in my job. But also, I've done what many Democrats only talk about doing. And I think as Republicans, we need to do a better job this year, this election cycle, talking about how our fiscal policy is better for our economy, how we have all worked on criminal justice and prison reform. When we talk about some of the division that's happening across the country and why these protests and riots are happening, there are Republicans like myself across the country that have worked on these issues, and particularly for minorities and for women. And in fact, I had a prison reform bill signed into law by the governor of South Carolina just 3 or 4 months ago. And it's important for us to talk about all the things that we've done for our community, including our immigrant community, because our policies are compassionate. We want legal immigration. We want people to come here and benefit from all the freedom that our economy offers. Everyone can prosper if they come here, they work hard. Everyone can be successful, and everyone deserves that kind of opportunity. I'm very excited about this race. I just appreciate y'all for having me on. And if you know anyone in the 1st Congressional District or would be supportive of our election this year, my website is nancymace.org. And that's M-A-C-E, nancymace.org is our website. And I would love to earn your support this election cycle.